Right here on the ticket, Mike Babcock has separated Henrik Zetterberg and Pavel Datsyuk after 11 games together. Cardinals and Red Sox World Series continues Game 3 tonight in St. Louis. David Ortiz will play first base for the Red Sox. After Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticket.com.
The following is a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Phoning. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. We've got a panel here this morning. Good morning, gentlemen. We've got Alex Nafusi from Capital Mortgage.
Hey, buddy. Good morning.
Harry Glantz, Capital Mortgage, and Lee Moroff from Remax Showcase Homes in Birmingham.
That was the bumper music for On Any Given Sunday. Harry, who was that phone call you just got before we went on the air?
My ex-sister-in-law, or my sister-in-law.
I love you. I love you.
Daddy's got to go on the air. I'll call you right back.
It's probably about some kids stuff. Hey, if you want to talk mortgages this morning, this is the show for you. Give us a phone call here in the studio, 248-539-9797. We've got lots to talk about if you're interested in refinancing your house or purchasing a new home. Also, be sure to call Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Rates, of course, all-time 4-month lows again. We'll get to that a little bit later. Some of the mortgage news going out there, of course, you hear it.
All right, so I got chastised the other day when somebody said to me, you got to quit saying historically low rates.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Historically low. What I mean by historically low rates are, in 1964, 65, in that range, rates were at the rates we are at right now currently. Are they... I never said they're the lowest point in history. I said they're historically low.
How could that possibly be misconstrued?
You know how people are. It goes something like this. If you're buying a house now and you could get the same rate that your parents and or grandparents got in the 60s, I have some advice for you. Just do it.
I got a cute story for you.
That's it.
I got a cute story for you. I sold a house
and quit nickel and diming over an eighth or a quarter. Okay, just do it.
Lee, you want to tell us a real cute story?
It's a cute story. I sold a house in Southfield about a year ago, and this was the original owner that sold the house. And they pulled out their papers from when they bought it, and there was their mortgage from
mid-60s.
1964.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think the rate was for a 30-year ticket?
I'm telling you, it's got to be in the fours. It was in the fours.
4.25.
Yes, exactly. That's what they were. So what are rates right now? That's right. What are rates now?
In the
fours.
Generally speaking.
I happen to know that too, Lee, because A, I'm a little older than you, and B, I remember when my parents bought the house that I grew up in, and it was in that same time frame, and their rate was 4%. Okay, that's just what it is. Okay, but you're right. 4.25. That's what they are now.
We said we were going to get to this mortgage stuff later, but they're
But that is mortgage stuff, right? I mean, when people say you can't say they're historically low, I don't know. Definition of history.
That's completely asinine.
In the past, rates are at 4.25. Rates are at 4.25 now, even lower. I don't know. Historically, low rates. I don't know. Simple definition.
Lowest level in 4 months right now. A positive sign for the housing recovery. Mortgage rates have been dipping really since late September, early October, when the Federal Reserve held off on slowing its $85 billion worth of bond purchasing. They should stay low now. Things are looking good. And you take advantage of it now. If you happen to refinance recently, you're probably in pretty good shape. But if you did it maybe 3 years ago, 2 years ago, we see a lot of the families coming back here and bettering their situation.
I think the word is stability. I think they're stable for now. I think we can, because I'm a little bit defensive about that, and that's my posture on it. I'm a downside risk guy. It's stable now, and there's really nothing stable when you talk about rates and commodities, and because things go up, they go down. But they've been stable for the last few weeks, right?
Hey, you brought up a good point earlier. You just said you stop nickel and diming over an eighth and a quarter, and one of the funniest things that I see is people, they'll sell you down the river, sell us down the river for $100 off closing costs, or an eighth of a point here or there, and they've got their spreadsheet, and people they get so jacked up to get their mortgage. Yet the funny thing in the world is some of you cats blindly sign a purchase agreement that's got the $4.95 real estate retention fee in there. People waiving you've offered to pay the seller's transfer tax and the seller's total policy. You blindly sign the only legally binding contract of an entire transaction. If you apply with me, you don't have to close with me. If you hate me in a week, you can bail. There's no legally binding contract to get a mortgage, a purchase agreement. If you decide not to close on that house, you lose your earnest money deposit. It's a legally binding contract. You blindly sign your life away doing that. Yet you're nickel and dime Glands and I for $50. It's unbelievable.
Lee, I was waiting for you to jump in on that.
Well, you make a good point. It's a good idea to have your papers looked at by a lawyer before you sign.
It's only because you're a lawyer.
And a real estate agent.
But you just confirm what I'm talking about right now. People blindly sign something. Well, don't blindly sign something. Have it looked at by a lawyer.
My favorite part is when they sign the purchase agreement that says it's a non-refundable deposit. Okay, why would you ever enter into a transaction and give somebody a non-refundable deposit? I mean, what happens if the house comes up on inspection that there's some defects? What happens if that property doesn't appraise? What happens if there are things that you find out during the process that, you know something, I just don't want to buy the house? Why would you ever give a non-refundable deposit?
Well, but here, you put yourself in the seller's position, though. You're selling your house, and somebody makes you an offer, and they say, well, it's my deposit is refundable under all circumstances.
I didn't say all circumstances.
But you did.
He said
No,
I
didn't
non-refundable.
I didn't say all circumstances. I said what happens if the appraisal doesn't come out? What happens if you get a home inspection? There are so many defects that you can't buy the house.
Those are standard contingencies that we see.
But remember, we're talking to the general public, so when we make statements about all circumstances, no, you want to sign a purchase agreement based on an appraisal and an inspection, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. So there are your two stipulations. I would never, ever let one of my clients sign a purchase agreement that says non-refundable deposit.
You know what we definitely agree on here this morning is to make sure that
bring it back, Harv.
You definitely, yeah, exactly. Make sure you've got all your ducks in a row. Yeah, exactly. Make sure you get your ducks in a row. Make sure you understand what's important and not important to you. And again, I like the idea, Leah, always we mention it. Definitely get proper representation. Lawyers will review documents like this, purchase agreements, and you can put that right on your purchase agreement that this contract is subject to an attorney review. No problem. An attorney can put his eyes on it. Also, this attorney can review other documents for you. And again, I know a lot of local real estate attorneys for a small fee. I know they want to charge more, but will definitely review your purchase agreement and take care of some matters for you at the closing table or prior to reviewing your HUD settlement
Well, like
statement.
we've always said, you have to have a good team behind you. You have to have your good realtor, right? You have to have your good mortgage person, right? Have an attorney. Okay, maybe your CPA's got to get involved with all the documentation that we have to bring nowadays, right? Right, Alex?
Oh, yeah, unbelievable.
Okay, got to have your accountant involved. All right, so you have your team, and you put your team together, and you let your team go to work for you. That's the best thing you can do.
Hey, if you guys want a team, 248-539-9797. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Call us here. You get hooked up with the right real estate agent. You get hooked up with the right situation, the right mortgage for what you got going on in your life. Again, or call Capital Mortgage. I know we've got a full staff today. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We'll definitely go over all the details in a transaction. You know, there's craziness going on in the aftermath of the historic housing crisis. Arose a new monster out there, a little pun for Halloween week, a sign of significant increase in single-family homes that were being rented out to individuals. As we know, so many families were in a situation where they either lost their home, did a short sale. They might have lost their job. They got back in. They started renting single-family homes, Lee, as you know, in some of our great communities here in Southeast Michigan. Now there's that opportunity 2, 3, 4 years down the road where they can take a look at buying again. So we do see a lot of the families, even in some of the houses they've been renting, taking a look at seeing if they want to go ahead and even purchase the house that they've been in. Many new renters out there have gone, they were previous homeowners, and now they can buy at these corrected prices because there's no doubt, although we've had tremendous amount of appreciation here in Southeast Michigan and across the country, things are looking like they're going to slow down just a little bit. In other words, not that crazy appreciation, just a little bit more stable.
We're dangerously close to a bubble again for a while, and I think I said that about a month ago, that, you know, people start throwing their houses on the market, and, you know, you throw it out there, say, well, we'll just list it and see what we can get. And you throw up these huge numbers, and it's not this. Listen, man, as cool as I think this area is, it's not downtown Chicago, man. I mean, it's not Lincoln Park, you know. I mean, it's not San Francisco. It's not New York. It's just not going to happen. It can't. You're not going to support $250 a square foot. I don't care where it is, man.
Well, it's not going to appraise either.
Yeah, you're talking about Lincoln Park, Illinois, just for purposes
not the band.
of right.
Oh yeah, sorry, not
downriver
Lincoln Park,
is what you're
Michigan.
talking about.
Well,
yeah, but you know, there was a stat that came out yesterday, 2 days ago, that I read that the home purchase market, well, it was going in double-digit percentage rates, you know, for the last year. September, it was just up slightly, single digits, maybe 1 or 2% over the previous year. So when you talk about a bubble, I don't think the bubble is bursting, right, Alex? I just think, guess what? It's the time of year, too. Don't forget, kids are in school right now. Families have moved in. In our area, the weather plays a big part in it. And when you're looking at November, December, January, and February traditionally is the slower time in our area, right, Lee?
Traditionally, yes, but the last 2 years for me, no.
Okay, well.
I was busy.
There it is, everybody, the Lee Moroff Index. We have the economic index for Lee Moroff.
I better be getting some phone calls from you, Lee, this week. Okay, I need some buyers. 248-539-9797. You know, sort of craziness, Alex, going back to some of our older shows. We were warning people back in the early 2000s, look out. You know, everyone was calling us up. Some of the families that were calling us didn't even own homes, and they were talking about becoming landlords. And they were overpaying. And, of course, all those houses went back on the market. They were foreclosed. They walked away from them. They were buying them for $150,000, thinking they were going to do a quick flip on it. And again, those houses valued it's $80,000, $90,000. But these investors, these even mom and pop investors that picked up those $80,000, $90,000 homes now that are worth $130,000 and $140,000. So there's been some success in that arena, and it should be applauded for all the families out there that sort of took advantage of things when they were low. Again, you don't buy at the high, you buy at the low. So we've seen some real success stories here. Again, many families, though, did it the wrong way, or individuals did it the wrong way. They were up late night watching those crazy late night infomercials about how to become rich overnight. Those don't work too often.
Those guys have made money, but they're like motivational speakers.
Exactly.
Like, what's his name? Kiyosaki, is that the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy?
That's him,
Dude, he gets paid to speak. Like I personally, this again, not the opinion of XYT, he gets paid to speak, man. His real estate plan is completely flawed.
All right, we got lots to share with you. We'll be right back. We're up against our first break. 248-539-9797.
Detroit Metro Airport. McNamara Garage daily parking is only $20 per day. The Big Blue Deck serving North Terminal, daily parking just $10 per day. You deserve it.
We're saving a spot for you. We're saving a spot for you.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services, NMLS number 3038, Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
When you're at the corner of living bank-free and making bank, you need a safe place to secure your money. That's why Walgreens created the Balance Financial Prepaid MasterCard. It's cash that's safer than cash. Just load the card with money at any Walgreens store and use it wherever Debit MasterCard is accepted, even online. Plus, with easy reloading and no-fee ATM withdrawals at more than 7,500 Walgreens locations, managing your cash is as easy as finding your nearest corner. We'll even replace any funds if your card's lost, stolen, or destroyed by a washing machine. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Purchase your Balance Financial Card from Walgreens today for just $1. Select ATMs within Walgreens may not offer no-fee cash withdrawals. This card is issued by the Bancorp Bank, member FDIC, pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Fees and restrictions apply. See store for details.
The best medicine doesn't just happen. Miracle cures don't find themselves. And an apple a day may not keep the doctor away, which is why we need medical pioneers, leaders in their fields who dedicate their lives to treating patients and pushing boundaries. Bold men and women who share the goal of becoming one-of-a-kind, world-class medical professionals. Next time you see your doctor, look on the wall. Odds are he or she graduated from an exceptional medical school. Wayne State University. Aim higher.
What can Family Feud do to a family?
We're going to play it, Steve.
We're going to play it. Let's get it on. I've seen the feud make families shout. But most of all, make families laugh. Name a penalty a football referee's wife might call on him in the bedroom.
Too much fondling.
You ever watch football?
Family Feud with host Steve Harvey.
Watch Monday at 7 and 7:30 on CBS 62.
Every certified pre-owned BMW has been rigorously inspected to the exacting standards of BMW. They all come with complimentary 24/7 roadside assistance, and they all have an up to 6-year or 100,000-mile protection plan. But what really makes a certified pre-owned BMW special is the feeling you get when driving one of the most innovative, well-engineered cars in the world. And you can get yours right now at the second annual BMW Certified Pre-Owned Sales Event with financing as low as 0.9% APR on most 2010 and 2011 models for up to 60 months. Experience the thrill of owning a BMW today. Hurry into your nearest BMW center for a test drive. New or certified pre-owned, we only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. 0.9% for qualified creditworthy customers who enter into retail installment sales contract by October 31st. For full information on financing and protection plan, visit bmwusa.com/CPO.
Now, at the second annual BMW Certified Pre-Owned Sales Event, take advantage of financing starting at 0.9% APR on most 2010 and 2011 CPO models. Details at DetroitBMW.com.
Well, your heart looks good. Cholesterol levels are fine. So tell me again what's happening.
Well, doctor, once a week, I get totally lightheaded. The whole room starts to spin. My heart starts pounding like crazy. And sometimes my toes go numb.
Really? And where are you when this happens?
The checkout line at Kohl's.
I think we've discovered the cause.
Don't miss Kohl's Spend the Weekend Savings Sale this Friday through Sunday. Great savings that make you go Kohl's. Kohl's. Expect great things.
Go to magicwindow.com and save 50% on new windows. That's magic with a J. magicwindow.com.
The station with the most important guest is you.
Welcome back to the show. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. Brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We take all your phone calls. 248-539-9797. We're the guys from Capital Mortgage. If you need a mortgage, definitely got to give us a phone call. We'll save you money and teach you the whole process. Try to keep it smooth, easy, and hassle-free. That sounds easy.
I like that, Hurry. Great. Just like we wrote it.
A lot of stuff going on about purchases, and of course, there's an article that I read. It was written by Jan Swanson. I'll give her some credit for that. It actually said that higher prices will effectively help the buying market. What it's going to do is higher prices will entice buyers, but rather, in a weird way, it's actually going to motivate sellers to help increase the inventory. Again, as the values are going up, there's more and more families that are saying, wait a minute, now I can sell that house and either upgrade my property or downsize it. We see a lot of families, obviously, empty nesters. Even Harry's getting to that point. Excuse me, Harry's getting to that point now where eventually the kids are out of the house and you might not need the house so large. You might want to downsize a little bit. Also, families looking to move into better schools or better communities. We see it all the time. Lots of different reasons. And again, as the appreciation goes up, there's more and more opportunity.
Yeah, there are a ton of sellers out there the last few years that would call me up. What's my house worth? I want to know if I can move now. And you pull the comparable sales figures and you go out there and they were disappointed. And sorry, I got to tell you the truth. That's just who I am. I'm not going to make up stuff and say, put your house on the market so, I can attract buyers and sell the buyers other houses other than yours. And there are a lot of realtors that pull that. So those people, the last few years, check with the realtor, check with me. You're probably close to where you need to be or where you need to be to make your move.
I think it's funny, a lot of people, a lot of sellers and a lot of clients, they talk about interviewing, I'm going to interview a realtor. And, they talk to 3 different realtors. And as a whole, they tend to take the person that says they can get the most for their house. And it's like this sketchy, like old school, like sales pitch where, if 2 people say it's worth $120,000 and the third guy comes in and says, I can get you $180,000, dudes, the third guy is lying. Like, there's nothing else to it. And those are the type of situations where you just end up jamming up the market. And, every time, here's the thing. So the market comes back and you get everybody that jumps back into the business, whether it be the mortgage business or the real estate business. Everyone's back in now. They were selling title work for the last 5 years because they were a failed mortgage person or a failed realtor. But now the market's back and rates are down. Now you're back in the business.
But isn't that the real reason what, Alex, we talk about? You got to go with the person you know or the referral or the person that's been around the longest.
That's where I'm going with this. 100%.
And isn't that really it? I mean, it's kind of like when you get bids on houses, too. When you get 3 bids and 2 are really close, and then some guy comes in the lowest bid because it's just human behavior. It's just what people want to hear. They don't want to hear what their house is really worth. They want to hear more.
They want to hear the number they want in their head. They want to hear that number. The person that matches that figure is who they choose. Boom. And all of a sudden, you have smart people that all of a sudden throw common sense out the window when it comes to mortgages and real estate.
Good times or bad times, there's always some level of inventory out there in the housing market, Lee. We sort of touched on that. And again, you sort of you're educating yourself as the market changes. I think lately it's been important to have that trusted real estate agent. Again, when do families typically call an agent? When they're either buying or selling. How about really having that agent keep you up to abreast of what's going on in your neighborhoods so that you have the knowledge and you're able to make some decisions moving forward? And I tell families now, look, if you need a local realtor, give us a phone call. We'll set you up. A lot of families will just call to find out out truly what's going on in the neighborhood. You do see these postcards every now and then. It'll say, hey, I just sold, such and such has sold a house down the street. Give me a phone call if you need a market analysis.
I send out those postcards.
Yeah, those are great.
I think that's a good mass mailer that you guys do. I really think it is. I think that, I live in a neighborhood. I want to know what if I do sell, which I'm not, by the way. Harvey, contrary to popular belief, I'm staying in my house forever.
I know you are.
I've been there for a long time. I'm staying there for a long time.
You got your plot in the backyard?
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, Ira Coffin's my next stop. But anyways, I will tell you that I like that because I think that's good marketing. I think that it's factual. It's very clear, and it gives somebody an idea of what you've done in their neighborhood, that you know their neighborhood. And if I'm selling a house, I'm going to hire somebody that knows my neighborhood, knows my area, and they're going to get me, what do we say in real estate? The highest and best offer. All right. It might not be what I want to hear, right, Alex? I mean, so if my house is worth X and I hear X plus a few dollars, okay, I'm happy. But if all of a sudden I start getting these crazy things, I could sell your house for Y plus a zillion. I mean, come on. I mean, people have to be smart about it, and you want to go with somebody that's experienced, in my opinion.
The nice thing about those mailers, Lee, is that it gives people a sense of security in the neighborhood. Like, Lee's been selling a house. He sold the house at 123 Maple Street for $300,000, and I mean, it makes people feel comfortable. It makes them almost feel like like they know you on a personal level.
Yeah, and that things are happening in the market too.
That's like, I think again, like you get the referral. That's one of the hugest things that I stress to people so much. I'm telling you, dude, if you make a spreadsheet of every single mortgage lender in the entire country, you're going to get a better rate than I can give you. I'm telling you right now, it's
Alex,
going to happen.
like back in the day, and I don't know if you remember. I know Harvey and Lee do. When you had Ollie Freder, Highland Appliance, and ABC going at it, and people spent all day in their cars Saturday and Sunday to save $17 on a washing machine.
What was the first one?
Ollie Freder.
Freder,
yeah. Highland, and ABC, right? Plugs for everybody. Only ABC's in business now. But people spend all day long searching for that deal on a washer and dryer to save $17, and they burned up $25 in gas. Right? It absolutely makes no sense to me. But guess what? That's what marketing does. People get in their car and they go. They feel good about saving $17.
Yeah, smart people throw common sense out the window when it comes to financial decisions.
Because time is worth more. Your time is worth more.
I'm at Costco the other day, and I love Costco. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Costco. The line for gasoline at Costco.
It's out on the road. It's out on Telegraph.
Yeah. I go to the one out like it's 75 and like 13 Mile, I think, or somewhere out that way. The line to save 8 cents a gallon on gas. Again, I'm not knocking Costco. Costco is great. What is your time worth to sit there for an hour and a half to save $4?
That's why the car's running.
But you get 3% back if you use the Costco.
Gentlemen, let me throw the number out. 248-539-9797.
In the
morning.
meantime, your kids have ran into Costco, bought the hot dog, got the fountain pop, and you've spent $17 on food before you even pump gas.
Let me throw the number out there, 248-539-9797. We're having a good time this morning. Welcome to our show. If you're just turning it on, it's 9:23 here on sort of a cold and windy, definitely fall weather day out there. We got Halloween coming up on Thursday. It's my quick reminder to be safe out there, do the right things.
Where are you going as?
We'll get to that later. You're going to be that, you always go as the same thing, sort of a cool guy or hippie?
Like a little disco dancer.
70s guy.
You always go as Dr. Evil. So.
Yeah, it fits me. That's why.
And I always go as the gorilla.
You're going to be back with that again?
Absolutely.
Donate that to
I don't know. It's about 30-some years in the gorilla outfit. It's great.
Gentlemen, in the boring news out there, MBS market summary yesterday. Bond market boring. Volume was low. Trading ranges held. There was little volatility. No compelling statements made. Interesting. Rates are good. All right. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to tip your waiter.
Do you understand that it's good to be, here, listen, in life in general, when you say the word boring, it's good to be stable, okay? But in the market, what happens is that in our world, and it's a strange world we live in, bad news is good news. Unemployment rate goes higher. Guess what happens? Rates go down. All right? The economy's bad. Rates go down. But that's not what we want overall. We want a nice balance where people are spending money, people are employed, and the rate market is stable. Okay, that's kind of like where we're at now. It's kind of boring out there now because really, hey, in the economic market, how about the stock market just ended on a high note this week?
Very good.
Right?
FHA, VA, conventional, rural development loans, they're all out there. They're all available for you again. And most of these mortgages fit your situation here in Southeast Michigan. Again, not in the heart of the city or anything like that, but there's many of these zero-down rural development loans to our listening audience. Washtenaw County, northern Oakland County, basically all of northern Macomb and Livingston, and all our surrounding counties here. If I missed one, Genesee County, to throw it all out there. 248-539-9797. If you want to become a homeowner, make sure you give us a call here on the show. We'll set you up with the right mortgage. We've got our first caller here this morning, and let's go to Mike out there in Roseville. Good morning, Mike. You're live on the ticket.
Good morning, fellas.
What's up, man?
My question is, I have done 2 home modification within the past 2 years to lower my rate. I wanted to find out, is that going to affect me in the long run when it's time for me to try to buy a home? Because I do plan on buying a home within the next 2 or 3 years. I just want to know what that affects me.
It shouldn't affect your credit. There are things the way when lenders record a modification, sometimes they'll code it on your credit report that the loan was modified, and it can affect a refinance transaction. And sometimes you can't refinance those once they're modified. It shouldn't affect it like a foreclosure short sale at all if they're just reducing the rate. Were you current on the mortgage?
Yes, I am current on the mortgage.
Okay. Why'd you need the modification?
Because the home isn't worth much, to be honest with you. I looked on Zillow.com, and the home is only worth $20,000, and I'm paying way more than that. So I thought to try to bring the interest rate down and do a loan modification.
Okay, but you're looking to just buy a new house down the road then?
Yes, I'm looking to buy a new home. What would I have to do? I don't have the best credit. I do have okay credit, but what would I have to do if I want to buy a home, let's say, a year or 2 years from now?
Well, it's just a regular old deal, man. You got to pay your bills on time. I mean, if you don't have the best credit, you'll probably have to go FHA, which is 3.5% down. You'll probably have to sell your other house unless you can qualify with both payments. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with buying another house. It's a regular old deal. Sounds pretty straightforward.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
You got it. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the call. 248-539-9797. We're up against a little short break here. We've got tons to share with you. If you're looking to save money, be sure to come on back and join us. We'll be right back.
Hurry to Southgate Ford for tremendous savings during their 2013 model year-end sales event. Take advantage of great, no games, no gimmicks, zero down sign and drive lease deals. Leave your money in the bank and lease the Ford car or truck of your choice. No money down, not even first month's payment, and no security payment required. Now through November 1st, qualified customers can lease a 2013 Ford Fusion SE for only $209 a month plus tax for 36 months. Just title and plates do it signing. These Fusions are nicely equipped, not stripped. Southgate Ford's also offering Ford rebates of up to $8,750 on new 2013 Ford F-150 pickups. See dealer for details. Southgate Ford never charges the hidden extras like dock fees on new, used, or leased buys, saving their customers hundreds, and you won't waste time with pushy managers. Every day's like an auto show at Southgate Ford. Hundreds of new Fords to choose from, and you'll stay comfortable as you shop their huge 12-vehicle showroom. Southgate Ford can even deliver your new Ford to you. Southgate Ford on Fort Street or online at southgateford.com.
On the next Big Bang Theory.
Howard's new boss is
Stephen Hawking. He's looking for an engineer to help maintain the equipment on his wheelchair.
That's amazing. You'll be like his pit crew.
Now Sheldon wants an intro.
Why are you washing Howard's man panties?
If I don't, he won't give my paper to Stephen Hawking. He's a famous physicist.
Yeah, I know. He's the wheelchair dude who invented time.
On the next Big Bang Theory.
Catch the Big Bang Theory, Monday at 7 on CW50.
Hi, I'm Charlie.
He loves his booze and cars and money.
Uncle Charlie.
Charlie. Hot chicks think that he's a honey.
Charlie.
Charlie. He can be so lazy.
Charlie.
He could drive you crazy. Charlie. If he weren't so freaking funny.
Your Uncle Charlie is, at heart, a sleazeball.
That's what I figured. I just wanted a second opinion.
I'm here all week. Tip your waitresses.
Charlie.
2.5 Men, all week long. Watch 2.5 Men, Monday at 6:30 on CW50.
Get into the Halloween spirit with Xfinity and AMC Networks. Visit the Macomb Xfinity store today to meet authentic zombies from AMC's hit TV show, The Walking Dead. Stop by from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. to get up close to a walker. Get a picture taken with the zombies and enter for a chance to win AMC prizes. While there, ask an Xfinity representative about great offers on TV, internet, voice, and home security services that work together to let you access and enjoy everything you love anytime, anywhere, and any way you want. The Macomb Xfinity store on Hall Road, across from Partridge Creek Mall. Imagine an intense adrenaline rush. You slip undetected behind the enemy, secure flight lines and valuable munitions, call in enemy airstrikes, rescue a downed pilot, or save victims of a national disaster. You are part of an elite team and among the most highly trained in the U.S. Armed Forces. You're an Air Force Special Operations Airman, and it's not science fiction. It's what we do every day. Push yourself to the limit. Log on to airforce.com.
He's a Frenchman, but he's created some of the most powerful marketing campaigns in U.S. automotive history. And he's one of the few people who have earned the title of Grand Brand Genius.
What's your marketing philosophy? Don't act big. Think big.
On the new edition of CBS Marketing Masters, meet the man behind 5 of the world's biggest automotive brands: Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Fiat. He's Olivier Francois, the Chief Marketing Officer of Chrysler Group, LLC.
You've used some pretty edgy celebrities and done some pretty edgy work, like this print ad for Fiat.
It's human bodies forming the shape of a car. It's great, but it's kind of weird.
Find out his secrets to marketing. Watch the video at cbsmarketingmasters.com. That's cbsmarketingmasters.com.
Are you living the American dream?
Chrysler makes me live the American dream.
Team up with the Detroit Lions and the Josephine Ford Cancer Institute to tackle cancer today. Get in the game at GameOnCancer.com.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Lake Laser. The Detroit Free Press reporting that the Detroit Tigers have interviewed a second candidate for the vacant managerial job. His name is Tim Wallach, 56-year-old, used to play for Montreal when Tigers president and GM Dave Dombrowski was the GM for the Expos. World Series tonight in St. Louis. It's game number 3. The series tied at 1. Red Sox and Cardinals. David Ortiz set to play first for the Red Sox. Michigan State on the road at the Illini today. 3:30 p.m. the kickoff there. Michigan is idle. Meanwhile, the Red Wings on home ice against the Rangers tonight at the Joe. 7 p.m. right here on the Ticket. Mike Babcock separating line mates Henrik Zetterberg and Pavel Datsyuk after 11 games together. At the Ticket Update desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 theticket.com.
Building a world-class sports station in a world-class sports city.
97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We'd love to hear from you here live in the studio. 248-539-9797. I'm not going to tell you about the weather. Just walk outside. A little windy out there, a little cold. Definitely a fall day. We've got Michigan State football here. If you're a Michigan State fan, coming up, they got Illinois. They're on the road. Alex, right? Any excitement there?
Yeah, it'll be another 10-7 shootout.
Okay. Next week, I know it's going to be exciting here. We're looking forward to broadcasting next Saturday's show with the big game, of course, Michigan State. And be safe out there. We got Halloween coming up here. You know, Halloween's great here in the Midwest. This is what it's all about. It's the season when you get out there and you hit the cider mill. So a lot of fun still to be had in this type of weather. We've got lots to share with you. 248-539-9797. Let's try Butch out there in Berkeley. Good morning, Butch.
Hey, guys. How are you this morning?
Good,
Thanks
man.
for
What's
taking
up?
my call.
No problem. What's up?
Quick question for you, and it might be a little long-winded here, but I got a mortgage that years ago I'd gone through Countrywide, which we all know what happened with that.
Sure.
And it was a 5-1 ARM, and at the time it was good. It came to fruition, obviously, through the crisis and everything. They lowered my rate when it got sold to Bank of America. Sat on that. They lowered the rate, locked it in, and they didn't actually lock it, but they put it at a rate that I could afford. I kept it at that. Now, I've been current on my payment for years now. Everything's good, and I want to refi, but no one will touch the loan because it's not FHA, and obviously my house value has gone down just like everybody else's, and I owe more on the house. It's not a lot more than what I owe, but no one will touch the loan. Any type of suggestion?
What's the balance on the mortgage, Butch?
I'm like 203, and the house probably comes in around I would say 195.
What part of Berkeley are you in?
What part?
Yeah.
I'm over off of like Greenfield and 11 Mile Road area.
You're at Greenfield and 11 Mile, and you owe $200,000 on your house?
Yep.
What'd you buy the house for? How much?
When I originally bought it was $185.
And how long ago was that?
God, it's been 12 years ago.
You bought it 11 in Greenfield for $185 12 years ago in Berkeley?
Yeah, but I'm inside a bit.
How many square feet is it?
1,500.
It seems heavy, man. It seems like 12 years ago. I mean, dude, I'm right in downtown Berkeley, man. I know like the back of my hand. I mean, 1,500 square feet at 11 in Greenfield.
Well, then he went ahead and pulled some equity out.
Did you take cash out?
It's my old neighborhood, 11 in Greenfield. Don't knock it.
You pulled some cash out, Butch?
Well, yeah, we did. We refinanced years ago. That's when we went into that arm.
Right, but you took some cash out of the property, right? Some money out?
Yep, did some modifications on the house.
What's the current rate on the mortgage?
6.75, I believe it is.
Yeah.
6.75. That sounds like there's a lot of action going on there. So it's not FA. Is it backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac?
No, that's the problem that I have is no one wants to touch it because of that. And
That's interesting, man.
Everything. Plus, I'm current on everything. My credit's good.
There's got to be more to that story because if you were on a 5-year arm, the rate should have gone down. You should be in the mid to high 3s right now on a 5-year arm.
Because it's what did I'm trying to remember what the company had told me in regards to the loan. It won't go below a certain rate.
That's a funky loan. There's something going on there, man.
It sounds like it's a portfolio loan that he got. And
was it stated income, Butch?
I'm sorry.
Was there something funky about it? Was it stated income? Did we not verify income or something?
No.
No,
it was done through Countrywide. It got sold to Bank of America, then Bank of America sold it to just a collection.
Which, do me a favor, man. I'll call you after the show. Pull together a copy of your note that you signed when you got that mortgage, and pull together a current mortgage statement for me. And let me take a look at it. I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm right in Berkeley too, so I mean, I'll take a look. But I mean, I think there's something we can probably do with that.
And I've been looking up house values. They've come up, and to be honest with you, I mean, I could pay probably 10, 12 grand of the loan off to get it down below to refinance up to.
Okay.
You know, I'd been told that you could refinance up to 97% of your house. So, I mean, I could pay it down to that, but I just don't know where that loan's floating at, or the values are floating at.
I'm with you, man.
Them upwards of 200. So I'm thinking, can I buy it down, refinance, get into a lower rate to lower my payment?
You got it.
I'm looking for, and to have a stabilization of the mortgage.
Yep, I'm with you, partner. Let me call you in like 20 minutes after the show.
All right, thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Butch. See ya.
Thanks. Good call. Again, you know, some families did this. They took a little bit of equity out of their house, and of course, with the drop in values, they're a little bit handcuffed now, Alex. And if they're not being, if they're not backed by Fannie or Freddie, it's hard to keep that done.
There's something funky going on with that loan.
I think you're right. I think that was a different kind of program. That wasn't a Fannie or Freddie program. That was an arm that had some special consideration for maybe some flexibility that he needed at the time, and it wasn't a 525 or a 225 arm.
It could have been one of those super fun
Happy Meal arms. Could have been
to defer your interest, something like that. We'll check it out.
We have some open lines, gentlemen. Definitely give us a phone call, 248-539-9797, or shoot us an email to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. We'd like to hear from you. Again, HARP loans are starting to make another push again, sort of re-energizing this program. The HARP 2.0 program is designed to assist homeowners, even if you owe more than your home's value. The program is very good to help people that have always made their payments on time. It's definitely to better your position, lower your interest rate, lower the amount of years you have left on your mortgage. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it. You can subordinate your second mortgages. The CLTVs are unlimited. And we haven't heard too many of these second mortgage lien holders not subordinating the second mortgage. There's a few of those out there. Definitely give us a phone call, Capital Mortgage. If you're underwater on your house, you may qualify for a great program. And again, Alex, so many families out there on FHA loans don't even realize that no appraisal is required. There's a lot they can do to refinance. Again, if you have an FHA mortgage, be sure to call Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE. Let's try Madeline out there in Clinton Township. Good morning, Madeline. You're live on the ticket.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's happening?
This is what I'm in the middle of doing. The existing condo I am in Clinton Township is paid for. And I'm looking for more of a slightly larger, more of a ranch type. And what I have in the bank in investments is roughly about 90 available. I have in cash in an account of at least 60. Have gone to the bank, and they've given me different options of going, giving me things to think about. An example, putting that 90 into a 5-point annuity, getting the mortgage at 4 point, and having that dividend make my house payment. Whoa!
Time out. You're going to put how much is the condo you're looking to buy?
The condo is the accepted $199.
$200,000 basically.
Basically,
there's absolutely no mathematical way an annuity for $90,000 is going to pay you enough money to cover that mortgage payment. Absolutely no chance.
Do you have a financial planner looking into this for you? It's somebody advising you on this? I highly recommend that you get somebody,
a professional maybe
on
I
that.
said it wrong, and the way I'm understanding it is incorrect. That's why when on my way on the road this morning, I happened to catch you guys.
I'm a little concerned that if you're at a bank and they're trying to pool like this program together for you to do a mortgage and do an annuity and do this, I feel like that it does. I just kind of have a bad feeling about that.
Yeah, and you're going to offset, if the goal is to offset the interest or dividend income to make the mortgage payment, I think you really need to delve into this a little deeper. You got to drill down and get this, because I don't know, I just don't see that. But that's not my area of expertise.
I don't either, and that's why I called. Maybe I misunderstood them in the sense of it did seem odd that make the dividend on that $90,000 would make the payment. I myself can put down 50, 60. I could even put down the 150 and just borrow the 90.
Let's do this. Let's break it.
Let me start over. Let's do this.
You're okay.
To you. I have the 90 investments, at least 55 in cash, which gives me 145.
Right.
Okay. Then if the condo's $199, say I borrow an $80,000 mortgage.
Okay.
I pay the balance off to the owners, and then I use a little bit for remodeling, cosmetic.
Okay.
Now,
I like that idea.
$80,000 that I borrowed from the bank, that's there.
Right.
Okay. That there would be. Let's see.
Let's do this.
Yeah,
Let's break this up. There's two separate issues here. I'm a mortgage guy.
What would be my best way to go? Yeah.
That's it. Your best way to go. Your best way to go is we've got to sit down and talk to you. And I will tell you this, and I'm not a big fan of liquidating your investments. All right. I'm also not a big fan of taking everything that you have and throwing it into the transaction. All right. So you really need to sit down and lay it all out, and then we'll find out what the best program is for you to make sure that you're in a situation for success instead of failure.
Madeline, we're up against a break. It's a great call, and this is why we have the show. 248-539-9797. If you have a similar situation, come on back and join us. We'll give you some great answers.
Earhart BMW invites you to the First and Goal sales event with incredible offers, like the new 2013 BMW X5 35 from only $499 per month with $3,500 down for 36 months. Visit Earhart BMW, Bloomfield Hills, Farmington Hills, EarhartBMW.com.
So you're telling me you really don't know how to play poker?
Nope.
You've never heard of a full house?
Sure, when my in-laws come over.
No. How about two pairs?
No, thanks. I like apples better.
Ever drawn three of a kind?
Drawn? No, I'm not very artistic.
You know what? The Michigan Lottery has the perfect game for you.
Really?
Yep. New Poker Lotto. The game that combines the sudden excitement of winning instantly and the big nightly jackpots of a lotto drawing. And best of all, you don't have to know anything about poker to play.
Good, because when it comes to poker, I don't know jack or king or queen.
No problem. Here's the deal. Get a ticket at a participating retailer and watch your poker cards being dealt right on the in-store lottery monitor. There are 13 ways to win. You could win up to $5,000 instantly.
Cool.
And then take that same ticket home, and it becomes a lotto ticket. Good for the Poker Lotto nightly drawing, where you could win up to $100,000.
2 chances to win?
Yeah.
Deal me in.
Be glad to.
Wow. Who knew? I'm a poker player.
A Poker Lotto player.
Right?
New Poker Lotto from the Michigan Lottery. It's 2 great games in every hand.
Yeah.
What morning news do you watch? Are you getting accurate weather?
Every day.
Up to the minute traffic?
Absolutely.
News that's happening now.
Every morning.
Breaking news?
We roll.
Do they help you get going?
Uh-huh.
You bet.
That's the plan.
Every morning.
Even on the weekends? We're here.
That's us.
And how do they make you feel?
Gotta watch.
Not all Detroit stations are the same. 7 Action News is Detroit's morning news. Taking action for you. Who do you watch for weather? Do they have the skills?
Better believe it.
The tools?
We've got them all.
The passion?
We bring it.
And the most experience?
Yeah, that's us.
The most trusted forecast team in Detroit is 7 First Alert Weather. 24/7 coverage.
On air.
Online.
And on our mobile app. We are Detroit's weather team.
Nobody has the experience and technology like 7 First Alert Weather. Always taking action for you.
I'm what you would call a lifetime smoker. All that changed when Dr. K did an oral cancer exam and explained the options to me. I never gave oral cancer a thought.
Close to 37,000 Americans will be diagnosed with oral cancer this year. It will cause over 8,000 deaths, killing roughly one person per hour, 24 hours a day.
Kakira's Family Dentistry encourages you to see your dentist at least twice a year for cleaning and a screening. Make it a priority, please.
Kakira's Family Dentistry, Allen Road, Woodhaven, 734-676-1656. KakirasDentistry.com. Okay, Buffalo Wild Wings is the greatest place in the world to watch Lions football. No surprise there. But now it gets even better with the chance to win $10,000 every time you come in to watch a Lions game in October. Visit a Metro Detroit Buffalo Wild Wings location and enter your receipt information on 971theticket.com/Buffalo Wild Wings for your chance to be one of 2 lucky fans each week. If you're selected and your assigned team runs an opening kick return for a touchdown, you'll take home $10,000. Visit a Metro Detroit Buffalo Wild Wings for details. No purchase necessary. Contest rules apply.
Want to see the Lions ground the Eagles in Philadelphia this December? Look for the Bud Light Lions flyaway displays at participating Metro Detroit retail locations and register to win a trip for 2 to see the Lions in Philly on December 8th, including round-trip airfare and hotel stay. Click on CBSDetroit.com's contest page for more information. No purchase necessary. Winner and guest must be 21 and older. You, Bud Light, and the Lions in the city of brotherly love. Here we go.
You're flying at 38,000 feet, 500 miles from paradise, when the question hits you, how did I get here? Here, feeling your vacation best in a cabin full of sickness and germs. Is it just luck or smarts? By shielding yourself from this season's strains of flu with a flu shot at Rite Aid to keep you here now that you've actually gotten here. Get your flu shot at Rite Aid today. No appointment necessary. Vaccines available while supplies last. Age restrictions apply in some states. See pharmacist for details.
97.1 The Ticket is all over the game tomorrow.
Pat Caputo will be broadcasting from the Lions Block Party on Brush Street starting at 10.
Stop by for your chance to win a custom 97.1 The Ticket cornhole board, courtesy of T&J Custom Cornhole.
The Ticket Chicks will be hitting tailgate parties in their CNC Sports ATV, passing out cars nuts. Check out the 97.1 The Ticket gaming trailer on Brush Street.
After the game, Dennis Fithian and Jamie Samuelson broadcast from the Corner Lounge inside Ford Field. Then Monday, it's 97.1 The Ticket and Dan Miller at the Hard Rock Cafe in Detroit from 7 to 8 with the Lions Review Show.
The baseball team that Detroiters love most. The Detroit Tigers live here.
Welcome back to the show. Till 10 o'clock, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank. We've got people in the office all day long today. You can also, if you're a little on the shy side, send us an email to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. I'm Harvey Freed, Alex Nafusi, Harry Glanz with Capital Mortgage. We got Lee Moroff with RE/MAX Showcase Homes in Birmingham. Lee, and always thanks for joining us here. We want to thank the callers for calling in. Even the lady who just called in again. Pretty interesting stuff. And when we call people after the show, we're able to hear the whole story and really advise them in proper ways. Sometimes set them up with more professionals in their transaction. And again, one of the things I got from the last conversation was, if anyone didn't hear it, was, taking all this money from the sale of our house or cash investments and putting it down on a new condominium. Today, at interest rates at all-time lows, most financial advisors would just recommend keep your money. You can keep it invested, typically invested in safe and nurturing things that are going to provide income for us empty nesters and families that, are in different positions financially. Again, keep your money and borrow the money at these all-time low interest rates. Sounds like a pretty good formula to me, Alex, but,
Well, it was she had there were two separate issues there. She had, this money, she's talking about investing and putting an annuity and all that. And then there's the mortgage question, too. That's a regular old school. She said her current condo was free and clear. That's a regular old school deal. I mean, nothing funky about that at all. I just, it's you just got to be wise. Be careful. You walk into somebody and all of a sudden it's like you picture like that. I'm picturing like her like walk into a bank and like some like typical like hot shot like New York Manhattan like broker with a slick back hair and the fancy suit. Like, oh, we're gonna put in an annuity this and do that, do this. And
you mean that skinny suit with the skinny tie?
Yeah, absolutely,
that deal. Okay.
Man. It's like, and she sounds like a really sweet lady. And a lot of times these people like that, dude, people that are shady, they sniff out like vulnerable people a mile away. I mean, and I can see. Oh, dude, you know what? I can't believe that. So I was watching Shark Tank last night because what I do, I sit home and
right, you record that show. I get you.
I'm watching Shark Tank on Friday, and I got my glass of wine. I'm all wrapped up in the blanket, and there's these two idiots on, like exactly what I'm describing, like the slick back hair, like these suits on, ex-mortgage guys. hustling like some, and all three of those guys, with the Sharks that are up there. What's his name? The guy that owns the Kings.
Cuban.
Yeah, Mark Cuban. He's like, you just give me the chills, man. He's like, just give me the chills.
Mavericks, yeah.
And and there's something about those people. Like, so here's like Mark Cuban, like calling this dude out. Dude, those people that are shady, not Mark Cuban, these guys that are on the show, they sniff people out that are just, they sense weakness and they just go after them. And it's just, you have to be so careful. Which goes back
I view our job is to educate people.
Yeah.
So sit down with people and go over everything, from A to Z. Go ahead and inform them, and then go ahead and give them options so they can make the choices. But our job is to set people up for success, not for failure.
Well, and what was wrong with her selling her existing condo, using the proceeds from that?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And use that as your down payment.
Nothing
at all.
And keep the rest. Keep your investments. Keep all your money safe.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just because you walk into any bank, for that matter, and they're offering you something, it doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. And again, we saw a lot of problems going on. I remember in the late 90s, and again, I've been at this for a while, and the early 2000s, you would close on a mortgage at a local bank, and they would give you a free home equity line. And a lot of families didn't want them, but the closing agent was there with this, hey, you closed on a first mortgage, here's a free home equity line. And so many families use that money. They started consolidating, as Alex would say, their boats and their wave runners and their motorcycles and their vacations. And now they're in a situation where they can't even refinance their house because they're all tied up.
There was so much blame to go around back then, but the idea is you have to do what's best for you and your family. Don't listen to whatever the program du jour, we say it all the time, whatever the program du jour, super fun, Happy Meal, negative AMARM, pick your payment loan. That's not the way it is. When we sit down with somebody, we tell them, we set up a program for their financial, in conjunction with their finances and their financial stability. Because I want people to make their mortgage payments. Believe it or not, I want people to pay off their homes.
A large portion of society, and I'm going to go on a limb here. You can email Harry after I say this. A large portion of society, you can't be trusted to pick your own mortgage payment. You just
There's
can't.
absolutely no way.
You just can't do it because all of a sudden you're in a negative amortizing program. You can choose the negative AM, the interest only, the 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed. Every single person goes in, with a plan. Like, I'm going to pay this much every month.
They never
do it. Ever happens that way.
248-539-9797. We've got some open lines. Let's go to a call out here. We've got Bob calling in from Commerce. Good morning, Bob. Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. I just hearing you guys on the program as far as the HARP. I want to see if I qualify for that program.
Okay. Is your loan backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac?
I think it's Fannie Mae. I just give you a little background. I owe about $255. I would say the house is 2,000 square feet in Commerce Township, built in '97. I'm thinking about $220, $219 right now, the value in that area. So I'm upside down on it. I was one of the countrywide victims.
Okay.
Bank of America took it over. Then 2 years ago, I did the home modification with them.
Okay.
I don't know if that qualified me or not. My payment was total $2,000 when we did the home modification. It hurt my credit a little bit because during the negotiation, they didn't want to negotiate, obviously.
Why would they negotiate? What do you mean? Why would they negotiate? What do you mean?
Because I was current, they don't want to reduce it.
Okay.
So when I stopped paying for like 3-4 months, they start calling me. Then we start talking, and they after 7 or 8 months, we agreed. They proposed $1,300 payment, including all my escrow.
All right, so you're good.
Saving of $700, I took it.
Yeah, you're good, man.
And then it's a good saving.
How many years is that?
Saying, what they did, the way they structured it is funny. What they did, they took the 70. I think they appraised the house at the time at 189. So they took the 70 and put it in the back end like a balloon.
Right.
And I paid on the 189.
Yeah.
Bob, you're already all set, man. Your loan, they already modified your loan. You already got your free deal.
You're good to go.
The reason I called because I get these letters in the mail said 2.0 interest 2.0. I don't
throw
know
them
if it's
out.
a gimmick or.
Yeah, throw them out.
I get pop-ups all the time on my computer that says there's this gorgeous girl living right next door to me. She's ready to come over right now.
Throw them out.
I don't know how I get those pop-ups. It's crazy.
Bob, thanks for the call. We will follow up with you.
Bob, you're in good shape, man. Take care, dude.
Let's continue a call here. I got Brad out in Hamburg. Actually, I want to get to this. Good morning, Brad. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Brad, what's up,
Good.
dude?
How about yourself?
Hi,
Good,
Brad.
man.
How you doing?
Good. Go ahead with your call.
Well, I purchased my home on a land contract here 2 years ago, and the balloon payment is up here in December
in about a year from this December.
Right.
And my credit score is not the hottest.
Because of foreclosure?
I'm at like a 570.
That's not the hottest. That's terrible. Did you have a foreclosure?
Definitely not. Well, and I just wondering,
Brad, did you have a previous foreclosure?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Did you have a foreclosure? Is that where you're on a land contract?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I mean, the issue is you got the land contract coming up a year from this December. So ideally, if we do this the right way, you should be 3 years out of the foreclosure so I can get you back into an FHM mortgage. We got to reestablish your credit, though. So we got a year to work this through together. We can get your credit scores up and go from there, man. I mean, we got to put a plan together for you.
Brad, you got, like you said, over 12 months now to get your credit score up where you can become mortgage eligible. And we're going to follow up right after the show. The phone call's a little cloudy out there. And got Rover in the
Thanks
background.
for calling, man.
Thanks for the show.
What is he, driving a semi? What is he doing?
That was it. It's all right. He's got the window down out there in 10 degrees. Hey, that's another version of the Hardcore Mortgage Show. Again, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Lee, we had that story about your sale. I know we need another hour here. But we got Pat Caputo coming up with sports next. Want to thank all their callers for calling in. And be sure to call Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Or shoot us an email, mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. For Alex Nafusi, Harry Glanz, I'm Harvey Free, and Lee Moroff. We'll see you next Saturday.
My daughter's a sweet kid, but half the time, I don't know what the heck she's saying.
OMG. Hashtag not my problem, Dad.
Yeah, that's unless we're talking Lions football.
Think they'll stick with the 4-3 package?
Yeah, but they'll probably drop a guy back on the passing downs.
That's cray-cray.
Anyway, we watch every game in our fan cave. It's decked out in everything Lions. Pennants, coasters, flags, jerseys, you name it. And we got it all from one place. Fanatics.com.
From jerseys to pennants, from t-shirts to ornaments, Fanatics.com has everything. Whether you're a fan of the Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, Tigers, Spartans, or Wolverines, Fanatics.com has all your team gear with over 250,000 items in stock. Every sport, every team. Fanatics.com, where sports fans shop.
Game's on, Dad.
Yeah, watching the game together is great. It helps me forget she's dating a guy named Worm with a Bears tattoo.
When you're at the corner of living bank free and making bank, you need to secure your cash. So Walgreens created the New Balance Financial Prepaid MasterCard. Load it with cash at Walgreens and use it wherever debit MasterCard is accepted, even online. We'll even replace any funds if it's lost, stolen, or destroyed by a washing machine. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
This card is issued by the Bancorp Bank, member FDIC, pursuant to license by MasterCard.